just look to the hills from which cometh your help. Because we just came to remind you that whatever it is, it's in the room. Brandon, help us out.
The King has entered the room. Stand and acknowledge as His presence fills the room. Let Him inhabit our praise as He delights in our worship. He has entered. The King is in the room. The King has entered.
Hey, you guys. Yes, what you just heard was the King is in the room. Today, oh my God, we have, Lord, let me tell you something. This encouragement seat is getting gooder and gooder. We have gospel recording artist, Mr. Larry Crider.
So stupid. I can't stand you.
Now, Larry, I am so, oh my God, seeing you throughout the years. And to see you now, I remember the little boy on the choir stand singing.
Yeah.
How did it grow into where you are now?
What?
Where did the vision come from?
I don't know. It's funny because, like as you notice, I've been doing music since I was a kid, playing the drums, singing the choir, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, music always attracted me. It always had my attention and stuff like that. And it wasn't until I guess I got into like middle school or high school that I found a passion for it, and it became, and I guess realized that I was actually good in it, somewhat good in it. I had a level of skill in it and things like that. And so from that, the rest is history. I mean, to sum it up, I just found a passion, a love for it. And I mean, of course, I thought God has called me to do this work,
Right.
to do music. And so God has blessed and anointed it, or whatever the case may be. And so, yeah, here we are.
Yeah, because you're choir director. You play the keys. I mean, you work with voices. So it's and I don't know how you spread yourself out to do all those things, but just seeing, oh my God, the songs that you have, Time to Say Yes, Don't Take Your Spirit. Were those songs you wrote?
Time to Say Yes. I didn't write that one. A friend of mine wrote that one.
Okay.
I was looking for some material for my CD at the time, my first CD, and actually, because I think there was talk about a choir somewhere else was getting together to do something, and they was looking for music, and I asked her for this song, and it was going to be originally for that, but then as we were talking or whatever, and I listened to the song, I said, I love this song. And so I basically tweaked it and made it Larry Crider.
Okay.
Yeah, or put my spin on it or what have you. But yeah, it's her song. It was written by Andrea King Williams, a good friend of mine.
Wow.
Called My Sister. But Don't Take Your Spirit, that is one that I did.
Now, Larry, Don't Take Your Spirit. How did that come about? How was that song birthed?
Oh, wow. Well, I wrote that song back in 2008. At that time, Larry was doing what Larry wanted to do. You know how we all get sometimes. I grew up in church. I grew up in our church, in the Holiness Church, and I knew of God, had a relationship with God and things like that. But I got to a place where Larry just got caught up in what he wanted to do. Larry wanted to live his own life. Larry wanted to explore and do things like that. But as I was living that life, God was tugging at me. I wasn't. I didn't feel the closeness or the bond that I had with God like I once had. You know what I mean? When you stop dabbing in your own stuff, the closeness or the bond per se that I had with Christ wasn't the same. And so I kept feeling like, okay, God, where are you at? Because I can't trace you right now. Normally when I can pray, what I would do, I can't find you. And so I realized, okay, I can't stay here. I can't be here. And I remember praying and I was asking, okay, God, have you left me or whatever? And He let me know. He said, no, I haven't left you. But He said, I just gave you a taste of what it would be like if I did. So I learned now that He didn't leave me, but He gave me a taste of what it would be like. And from that moment, I was like, I don't even want to imagine life without God and His Spirit, because it keeps us day to day. I can't imagine my life without His Spirit. I can't imagine I know that his spirit is omnipresent with us or what have you, but it's nothing like his joy to get us through our daily trials and tribulations and everything like that. So that's basically where it came from. So it was my heart's cry. So I went into Psalm 51, the Psalm of David, when he sinned with Bathsheba, and how he cried out to the Lord, asking God to restore. And so I went through various different scriptures to try to help convey what my heart was saying, because I have an issue with always trying to find the right words I'm trying to say. And so I went through various different scriptures to try to figure out or try to find, okay, Lord, this is what I'm saying, and please hear my heart's cry, God. I can't live without you. And so that's basically how it came about.
You better preach that word.
You so good.
Okay, now let me back up a little bit, because I know how hard it is for groups to stay together or for even groups to form, because everybody have, some, love singing and some do it part-time, full time. But how did it birth, and how long has For His Glory been singing?
Well, we've been together since February, of 2013. I want to say started from a vision, since I was a kid, cause I've always had the vision or the passion to do music, and I literally saw visions of myself playing and singing and that kind of thing. I literally saw visions of stuff like that, and I've always wanted to do it professionally, or kind of do it to this magazine, but I just didn't know when or how to go about that kind of thing. But so I've had different groups of different stuff that I've been in and learned and was able to be cultivated and learn and stuff like that through those avenues. But it wasn't until I want to say 2012, somewhere around there, maybe end of 2012 or whatever, that it started to come to me heavily about Larry start to step out. And then mainly because I had family members, I had different people that I knew was like, Larry, you're not doing your own thing. It's time for you to start doing your own thing. You've been doing this and doing that. It's time for you to step out. It wasn't like I was going around asking for it. God was literally sending people in my direction. And even the people that God laid on my heart, God even laid on my heart the people to ask. And when I asked them, nobody said no. And actually certain people that I asked, they was like, I've been waiting to work with you, or I've been waiting for the opportunity to work with you, and this is just the right time. And so God literally sent everybody that I asked and just put everything in place when I first started. So yeah, it's hard to believe it's been that long.
Exactly. Now, and this is because I try to encourage those, even if they're trying to step out in business, because they're trying to turn the church thing into it's a business thing, but the ultimate goal, and I always say this, is to reach souls. Yes. People get into it for various reasons, but I always, what I know and what I have learned, what you do for God is what's going to stand. It's going to last. Absolutely. Right. So, and just looking at, and this is how I encourage those that when you're getting started, sometimes you have to do everything on your own. You have to be the writer, be the producer, be the marketer. So who is your team? Do you have a team, or are you team of me?
For the longest time, it's been the team of me. Larry has been doing most. I mean, there's been people along the way who has helped here and has done this to help impart and help kind of send me into the right directions and things like that. God have sent people to be a blessing, to be a help. But the labor part, as far as really getting stuff together, the long hours and putting in planning and all that. So by the grace of God, Larry has been doing all of that stuff. Yeah, Larry has been doing a lot of the marketing. Larry has been doing a lot of the promotion. Larry has almost everything that you can think of. Larry has done it and been doing it the whole entire time.
Oh God! Yeah, and that takes. Yeah, I can see long nights. Yeah, long days, and you work as well. 9 to 5. Job.
Yeah, 9 to 5. And with my job at the time, I was working overtime some weekends. And my job sometimes it caused me the travel and stuff too, because when I was working with my former company, I had to also cover arenas and stuff like that, support those type of things. So I was always kind of busy. So I always had to find time to figure out what I'm going to do and plan this and and do that. So yeah, it was something. It was something.
Now, and I also I love to tell my group, network.
Yes.
You have to get out and talk to people.
Yeah, you do.
You have to you have to really, put yourself out there so people will know your name.
Yeah, I definitely had to learn that, because by nature, I consider myself an introvert.
Okay.
And I don't like to be in front of people like and talk like that.
Right.
But I had to learn by me doing this. I have to network. I have to make myself known and you know, talk about yourself. You know, I don't like to talk about myself and that kind of thing.
Right.
It can be uncomfortable, but sometimes you have to learn to jump over those hurdles and do what you need to do to make it work. You know, and I've learned and been more comfortable in learning how to network and to get myself out there and to talk about yourself. And the more you do it, the easier it'll become. But like you say, if especially when you're doing anything, you're doing business, anything like that, when you're trying to sell yourself, you gotta pitch yourself.
Exactly.
No one is going to support you or pitch you like you can.
I say it all the time.
So.
Now, and what you have done and the work that you have put in did not go unnoticed, because Rhythm of Gospel Award nominee, best performance by, I mean, you. Yeah. That hard work, God is so good, and He is faithful to His word, because if He shows us something, and I always let my group know, faith without works
is dead.
It's dead. You gotta put in that work.
Yeah, you can see it, but if you don't work towards and put in the work, people don't understand. Like people see the stuff that I have done and managed to do, whatever the case may be, but there's a lot of grinding. There's a lot of hours I spend years learning the business of music. Because we, especially those that are in church and in the gospel arena and things like that, we're good at, we know how to sing, we know how to perform, we know the musical stuff of it, but we lack the business. We lack understanding.
Exactly.
How you gonna get into something and don't understand it, don't know how it works? I spent years learning the music business, learning how things work, learning the different positions, learning and networking, and learning and studying under people who know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Have a track record.
Yes.
And someone who can help you, to do various different things. So this stuff didn't happen overnight, and it takes, and it takes time. So yeah, it's a lot of years, a lot of grind, a lot of mistakes, a lot of ups and downs. Losing money, a lot of stuff. People said they was going to do stuff and they didn't do it, or they lied to you. A lot of that stuff. It's like when people see people arrive or achieve, as they say, to a certain status, people say, "Oh, they just got here," but you don't realize it was a long journey and a lot of stuff that they put in the energy to get to where they are.
And that's what we see. We see where they are now. But and I know later they tell their story of what they had to go through to get there. And I'm glad to have you here now. Not saying that I just want to be in the VIP section.
You're so silly. You're so stupid.
Yes, I had him first, y'all. Oprah had him first.
Put her no mind.
But I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
And for the work that you're doing, and because I know you work with young people, it's awesome to see a young man that's really serving and striving and really reaching souls and through music and through, just the work that you do.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. And I want to encourage you to continue to reach out. You guys, I'm telling you, he's a powerful man of God. The word is in his bosom, y'all. Larry, thank you so much for joining us on the encouragement seat. And this won't be the last. I'm going to get him back as well. You guys stay tuned. And where can they follow you? He's on Instagram, he's on Facebook.
Yeah. So our website is www.officialforhisglory.com. It's with the number 4. So official the number 4, hisglory.com. And there you can actually get links to all of our social media accounts, Instagram, YouTube. We on all the platforms except TikTok. I haven't learned that platform just yet. But we're on all other platforms.
You guys follow him, get his music, stream. Look, he has wonderful, encouraging music. Thank you so much, Larry.
Thank you for having me.
All right, y'all, stay tuned for more Encouragement Seat.
Clap your hands. opened my
You
eyes.
opened my eyes when I could not see.
You've been so good.
so good to me. I gotta say thank you.